Hi, and welcome to ArcGIS, Creating a Basic Map. My name's George Durkee, and I'll be your instructor. I've been a National Park Ranger for over 40 years, and almost all of that time as a backcountry ranger involved in law enforcement, search and rescue, and other emergency services. A few years ago, I became increasingly interested in how to apply GIS solutions to solving some critical problems that seemed to recur in search and rescue. The good news was there was a scattered group of others interested in doing the very same thing. Through mutual friends and colleagues, we were able to come together as a work group and amazingly quickly come up with solutions on how to more effectively integrate GIS into search and rescue and other emergency operations. This will be a fairly quick and, I hope, easy way to learn how to use the industry standard GIS software ArcGIS 10. This class is intended for two types of students. The first is for those of you in search and rescue who are planning to take the 3-day GIS Mapping Introduction to SAR and GIS to be offered on the Columbia College campus. That class uses our software tool MapSAR, which integrates with ArcGIS 10 to capture much of the SAR GIS workflow. We found that students without a basic familiarity with ArcGIS often feel a bit lost. This class will bring you up to speed and be comfortable when taking that class. Another critical use in the emergency services community is being able to quickly find a location from coordinates, such as those given you by a spot activation or called in by cell 911 service, or establish a point on a map and then be able to give the coordinates to ground or air responders. The second group of students I hope will take this class is just anyone who wants to explore a really terrific software program for making maps more effectively and using geospatial information in their day-to-day lives. You may want to map bike trails for your friends or community, or keep track of your backcountry hikes, then share your maps or data online using paper maps that you create. Learning a good software program is an excellent way to do this, and, as important, maintain your files in an organized way for future use. There's a lot of mapping programs out there. Google Earth, for instance, is one of the most popular because it's not only free, but very easy to use. Another is ArcGIS Explorer, also free and fairly easy to use. There are several major advantages, though, to using ArcGIS 10. The one especially appreciated in the emergency services community is that it works equally well if you're not connected to the internet. This class will teach you how and where to get maps and other data to use in the field. Also, if you've got a slow internet connection, you might find it easier to use the base map file you've got on your own computers. Arc also gives you much greater flexibility in using better symbols and labeling for your maps, as well as the ability to print on any size paper, including poster size. I'm hopeful this brief introduction to ArcGIS 10 will show you some of the advantages of this GIS program for your personal or agency's mapping needs. In my experience, people are pretty intimidated by ArcGIS. At first glance, it is a pretty complicated looking program. It certainly was for me when I started. I'm almost entirely self-taught, so well remember what it's like flailing around trying to figure out how to do something. My hope is that this class will help you such that the basics of ArcGIS are pretty straightforward and start you on a path to build a better knowledge. Next, some housekeeping notes. Our main text and reference we'll use is the book Using GIS for Wildland Search and Rescue by Vanessa Glynn Linares and I. This is available free as a PDF on mapsar.net, as well as the Blackboard Learn web portal Columbia College uses. I'll assign reading from several chapters, and each chapter will have a set of video demonstrations as a summary of the chapter. Links to class resources are on a document I've sent to all students registered for the class. If you haven't received this, write me at my contact at the end of this slide set, and I'll get you one right away. For the class, you'll need to install ArcGIS 10 on your computer or have access to a computer running ArcGIS 10. If you're on the Columbia College campus, you can obtain an ArcGIS Educational Installation CD with a 1-year user license from Jeff Tolhurst in the GIS department. I'll also have some available, and if you don't live in the Columbia area, I'll mail one to you. Chapter 7, ArcGIS for Desktop, gives you other resources for obtaining ArcGIS 10, and you can also download a 60-day evaluation copy from esri.com/eval. Blackboard Learn is Columbia College's web portal, where you'll find information about this class, links to resources, class calendar, assignments, and webinar meetings. It's also got a discussion section where you can share information and ask questions of others in the class. As a first assignment, I'd like everyone to go on the forum, introduce yourself, what experience and interest you have, and what you hope to get from the class. Write down any questions and submit by email to my contact here, or wait until our weekly webinars and ask. Finally, this is an experimental class approved for the first time by Columbia College. That means you guys are my beta testers. I really need feedback on what works, what doesn't, and how the class could be better. Using webinars and email, I can quickly change anything to get you the information or training you need, so don't hesitate to ask or make suggestions. In the next video, I'll do a fairly quick overview of ArcGIS and tools so you can have an idea of what's where. The first week of the class, though, we'll spend on pre-planning, things like folder structure, where to put your maps and data, file naming conventions, how to name files so you know what's in them, and where to find and download free geospatial data like base maps, roads, trails, and other features. That may not sound all that exciting, but I want to emphasize how important it is for anyone who uses GIS to build on a solid pre-planning foundation. The second week we'll be actually using ArcGIS to create maps from the digital maps and data you've acquired. Again, thanks for signing up, and I really look forward to working with everyone over the next couple of weeks.